couldn't get far from home for this cab cam in Franklin County in Hilliard with Neall Weber. And Neall got started just a couple of days ago here in 2016 planting season. How are things going so far?
Finally, they're working out. We had some wet conditions, as we all did, and the ground's just now starting to be fit. We're working ground. Worked the airway last fall and landall here today, and then we're planting in over top of that. The conditions are right, and it's a good feeling that you're planting in the soil that's correct. And not too wet, not too dry, just right.
As if you didn't have enough on your mind, last week as you started to think about planting, the markets really took off in the middle of the week, and unfortunately on Friday we got back to reality a little bit. But when they were higher, did you have a chance to move anything?
We sold some. Of course, we sold some way before the peak, as most of us may have done. But no, I'm really surprised that the prices are peaking out and going up right now. That it seems like everyone's getting the crops in good condition and fairly early, and I'm surprised. But let's take advantage of it while we can.
Are you pretty set on what you're planting, or will you change some things here at the last minute?
We're set. Seeds bought. Everything's pretty much locked and loaded as far as that goes. We typically don't change what we grow just because of what the price is at that moment, because you never know what's going to change.
On the way here to visit Neall, I went through a couple of developments, and in between those developments were some new houses. And as you look here to the left side of the tractor, you'll see Hilliard Bradley High School. And Neall, you know what happens close to a high school when it comes to these fields?
Yeah, the next crop here will probably be vinyl siding homes, likely.
So how does that work into your long-term plan? How do you make that part of the operations long-term solution?
Gosh. As far as the farming the thing, we're really, you kind of hope that a neighbor retires or something, and you can kind of talk to them and say, hey, we'd like to, be involved with your farm and maybe take it on for you. And that's really the only way that we're ever going to gain any ground in this area. But it seems like the homes have taken over here.
How farmer friendly is this area? Because there are still quite a bit of farms as you go, as I mentioned, between houses. But how does it, any concessions you have to make as far as getting through and getting from field to field, or are they still pretty cognizant of what you're trying to do here?
Well, it's that removal of the farm. Two generations ago, a lot of folks were involved in farm operations, and now we're so far removed. And you can tell that just driving around in your tractor. I know we've all probably seen an influx of traffic even in rural areas, but here it's really it's frustrating. We try to move our machinery at times where we're not in anyone's way as much as we can be. So basically, 2:30 when high school lets out. From there to about 7 o'clock, trying to stay in the fields, but sometimes you get caught in the mix.
One of Neall's passions in agriculture is reaching out to the consumer and having those conversations that need to happen more and more every year, it seems. And Neall, one of those things you put on is at COSI, and coming up August 17th through the 21st. Tell us about that quickly, and tell us how it came to be and why you feel it's so important to do stuff like that.
Farm Days, Little Seeds, Big Tractors is a great way to convey that message. We're bringing the farm to them. And, we're out there for 5 days. Some Franklin County Farm Bureau volunteers, as well as some surrounding volunteers in surrounding counties and 4-H groups and the like. And we try to just tell people the truth. Tell people what's going on at their farm, their family operations, and whether it be cattle or grain or hay or we're growing hops this year, so that's usually a really a good topic to try to bring on a conversation when people know that you're raising something that they didn't even think that you could raise in Ohio. So just conveying the message, telling the truth, and just being genuine, I think is important when we talk to our urban base and our consumers.
I didn't realize you grew hops. Do you have any of the samples of the finished product here in the cab with you?
As a matter of fact, we're missing a few here in the cab, but we can certainly make a time for that.
Neall Weber farms here in Franklin County in Hilliard. As you can see, just across the way there is Hilliard Bradley High School, so development going to be happening here in very short time, but Neal's going to be getting these soybeans in while he can, and Dad getting corn in along the way and making some progress here before the rain on Monday for the 2016 planting season. For the Ohio AgNet, I'm Ty Higgins. We'll see you down the road.